Hello, Lori Michelle with another Moshiach Reveals Chinks in the Armor. Benny turned right. Yuli went straight. Where are we heading? What a turn of events. If you're watching the news in Israel and the politics here, but this is not about politics. This is about making decisions. And we watched last week a turn of events that were shocking. They shocked me. A lot of people were shocked. And I posted last week that we needed a fourth election, but it looks like we're going to have a unity government. Benny Gantz turned right, meaning he's forming a government with Netanyahu's right-wing Likud and the right-wing bloc. It's not done yet, but that's where it's heading. He busted up the party that he was part of, the blue and white, and he had a total change in plans, meaning he's going to serve under Prime Minister Netanyahu. And I also spoke about Yuli Edelstein and how courageous he was to stand up, and Yuli went straight. What did he do? He went straight in line with his inclination to choose goodness over evil. It wasn't a political decision at all, though I'm guessing that most people thought it was very political. Even Yuli Edelstein probably doesn't realize how magnificent he was. He went straight on the line on goodness. He didn't go left or right. He didn't veer. His own self well-being, his own self was on a shelf. Yuli Edelstein was not even on his own radar. All he saw was evil and how he could not go along with it, and he resigned. It created a big vacuum, and in that vacuum, Benny Gantz had a change of heart. He went right. He chose to join the right wing bloc and Likud. So did he do the right thing? He chose unity. His foremost reason was the welfare and well-being of Israel, and that was good because that should have been the only thing on his radar. And that was good. Unity is good. And we need a unity government. I said that also, that we should have an emergency unity government. But I thought there wouldn't be a need for a fourth election. But when Benny Gantz saw the polls, this is what I'm reading behind the scenes, he saw that he couldn't form a government the way he was heading. He didn't have enough support. And we were heading for a fourth election, which he would surely lose. So he did choose to go right, which in this moment meant a unity government, which was the right decision for the right reason, to support Israel at a time when we're in deep trouble and in a crisis. Good. But Benny Gantz's own self-preservation and welfare and his party and his political views were on the radar. And you may argue against this, but when Yuli Edelstein stood up and said, I resign, his own self-welfare was off the radar. It wasn't about Yuli Edelstein anymore. His self-welfare was not important to him as much as choosing the right thing and going straight in accordance to his good inclination and God. So what am I talking about? What are you talking about, Lori Michelle? This is politics, and no, it's not. What we need to do is go straight ahead the way Yuli Edelstein did last week. We need to go straight on that line. That line, what's that line? That line is goodness, Yetzirah, that line is connected straight inside of us to our soul, who we really are. And we can't veer left and right, and wiggle around and accidentally make the right choice when we need to. When we need to. Benny Gantz made the right choice. He turned right, he went away from the left, and he landed on the right decision. But behind his right decision was his own self-serving inclination, ego and Yetzirah, and that's wrong. And that's at the core and the heart of what is wrong with the entire world. What is happening in the government in Israel is what needs to happen for the welfare and the well-being of all of Israel and the world. But what truly needs to happen is that there needs to be 120 MKs, all in unity for Israel and the world. And so what do we have now? We have opposition fighting and aligning to undermine whatever the new government will want to put forward, an opposition government. More fighting. What's the agenda? Me, myself, and I. That's not going to work. That's left or right. Left and right. Sometimes we land in accordance to what we're supposed to do, the right thing. It's a guess. It's an opinion. Your opinion matters. And no, it doesn't. Your opinion, whoever you are, may be correct. And then it matters. Getting it right and being correct and being on that line is where you need to be. If you're left of that line or too far right of that line, you are wrong, and you are part of the problem we're seeing swirl around the world. We can't do that anymore. I have opinions, but my opinions are straight on the line. I don't veer left and right. I'm on that line. I need to be on that line. And when someone tries to pull me off that line, I say to them, hell no, I won't go. And that's what Yuli Edelstein did last week. He saw things heading in the wrong direction. We need unity. And he said, hell no, I won't go. My self-interest doesn't matter when I see everything and everyone going to hell. I won't go. And I won't go left or right ever. Your line, the straight line that comes from your inclination, your Yetzirah, the soul that you really are, you come from him, goodness, veers left and right. Your line is the length or the width of a hair on your head. It's very easy for you to fall off that line. And if you're a religious Jew, you use Torah and halacha and you work to stay on that line. But your ego and your neighbors and the world pulls you off that line, and you easily fall off of that line. You veer left or right often. Some of you, very little. Very little. Some of you don't know how to get on that line. You're off in the weeds. You're in the cesspool. And your opinions matter so much to you, you're going to drag everyone off that line. You're coming onto my side of the issue because I'm right and you're wrong. And no, you're not. There's only one right and wrong in every single moment, on every single issue. Marriage, what else? Abortion, very hot topics. There's one right choice in every moment. You have to peel it apart and make decisions every step of the way. And every step of the way, everyone veers off that line, except for one person, me. And if you're thinking, how dare you, you pompous fool, who the heck do you think you are? That is off the line. That is Yetzirah, that's your ego talking. I'm on that line because I'm Moshiach. Because I can't go off the line. Why? Because he won't let me off the line? No. Hashem has nothing to do with my inclination to stay on that line. My line isn't the width of one of my hairs. My line is the size of the entire world. There's no left or right. There's no wiggle room. There's straight ahead, on the line, always. Yetzahat Tov, goodness, and I'm not even on the radar. You think I'm pompous? You think I'm full of myself because I won't get off the line? No, I'm not even on the radar. You can't pull me off the line. My family has tried time and time again as a little girl growing up. Oh, you're selfish. You won't do what we want you to do. And I couldn't. 7 years old, 8 years old, 10 years old, a teenager. I couldn't do it. It didn't make sense. It was awful. I won't do it. If it's not on the line and not goodness and not of God, my soul knows it. I didn't have to read the Torah. I didn't have to learn the laws. Somehow I knew. Did I make mistakes? I made lots of mistakes. And I learned, and I got cut and bruised, and I got up and I said, well, that didn't work because I didn't know the laws. I didn't know the laws growing up, and I did things that were wrong, and I got burned badly. And then I learned. I said, oh, okay, that doesn't work. I wish I knew that before I did that one. There's no time left, people. We're in the end of days, and we have to stay on the line. And Yuli Edelstein stayed on the line. He, in that moment, chose goodness. Yuli Edelstein's welfare was not on the radar. I must resign. I cannot do this. Could you do that? If you faced jail time, would you have done that? Be honest. Not a lot of people would have done that. Just before he did that, Hashem asked me, Lori, what would you do if they were forcing you to take a vote to replace yourself, to push for an agenda that was purely evil? I said, I wouldn't do it. They could take me to jail if they had to. I just wouldn't do it. Straight on the line. Yuli Edelstein doesn't always choose straight on the line. You can't accidentally choose straight on the line. Benny Gantz made a decision. He's going to form a unity government for the best interest of Israel. That's on the line. But behind it is an agenda. And we can't have any agenda right now other than world peace and world redemption in our time. In order to do that, we need to know where that line is. And if you have not studied halacha, Jewish law, Torah law, I don't care if you're Christian, Muslim, or any other type of religion, or an atheist. You need to know what his rules are, because breaking his rules brings us to our knees. And that's where we're heading right now. Coronavirus. It comes from not staying on the line, not knowing where the line is. We don't know where that line is most of the time, do we? We need to know, and not knowing is not an excuse. That's where coronavirus came from. That's where pollution comes from. That's where climate change comes from. That's where suicide comes from. Terrorism, war, and on it goes. So I'm going to end by saying, where are we heading? Where are we heading? Are we on the line because two men made a decision that was correct in that moment of truth? Where are we heading? Are we heading to world peace in our time right now? Oh, no, we're not. You know why? Because you don't know where that line is. You might be right of that line. You might be left of that line. And you might be correct in every other moment. But in every other moment, you're choosing something that's foul and you don't know it. You're a good person, but you don't know that you're choosing something that's steering everyone else off of a cliff, including yourself. And you need to know. Do you want to know? I know. I can't get off the line. I live on the line. My life is on the line to give you the information you need to heal this world one person at a time, times billions. One last message. He said, the great humbling is about to begin. What does that mean? Write it down. It's from him to you through me. The great humbling is about to begin. After he said this to me over Shabbos, I said, Hashem, isn't it here now? Coronavirus. Isn't the great humbling already beginning? He says, not at all. He says, not one of you in this entire world is humble. And he just said, yet. In order for you to stay on that line, you need to be humbled. And the great humbling is about to begin. And that's good, but that's also painful. So the sooner you learn what I'm trying to give to you, the better off you'll be. God bless you. I'm telling the truth. Buy the book and start learning. Let's come together and learn how to stay on the line from our inside out. That's where we have to live. It's not about us. It's about everyone else. God bless you. World redemption in our time. God bless you.